Hey, welcome to Nucleus. I'm Tripwire. Today we're cracking open the story of Jensen Huang and NVIDIA, how a toilet-cleaning immigrant kid, a bad chip, and one deeply unpopular software bet quietly built the foundation the entire AI revolution now runs on. And yeah, we're going to talk about Denny's. Buckle up. Picture this. A company crosses $5 trillion in market value. Not billion, trillion, with a T. The first company in human history to do it. That happened in October of 2025, and the man wearing the black leather jacket at the center of it all was Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA. Now, $5 trillion is a number so big it stops meaning anything. Let me put it this way. If you stacked that value in singles, you'd reach the moon, come back, and still have enough left over to buy every Denny's on Earth. Which is a weirdly relevant joke, but we'll get to that. Here's why this matters right now. Every AI company on the planet, every chatbot, every model lab, every hyperscaler burning cash to build the future, they're all fighting over one scarce resource: NVIDIA's chips. Jensen doesn't just sell shovels in the gold rush. He owns the only mine that makes the shovels. And in May of 2026, he did it again, launching RTX Spark with Microsoft, a 1 petaflop superchip to put AI agents inside your personal computer. So the guy isn't resting on his $5 trillion throne. He's betting on the next thing. So how does a kid who cleaned toilets in a Kentucky reform school end up here? Let's rewind. Jensen Huang was born in Taipei in 1963. His mom, a school teacher, used to pick 10 random words out of the dictionary every single day and make her sons learn them in English. She was preparing them for a country they didn't even live in yet. That's foresight. That's a theme, actually. Remember it. At age 9, Jensen and his brother got shipped off to America to live with an uncle. And here's where it gets almost too wild to be true. Their relatives, new immigrants themselves, meant to send the boys to a prestigious boarding school. They accidentally enrolled them in the Oneida Baptist Institute, a religious reform academy for troubled youth. So instead of prep school lacrosse, young Jensen got a chore list. He cleaned toilets every day. He was an undersized immigrant kid with long hair and a heavy accent, and he got bullied for it. This is the origin story of a man now worth over $200 billion. He didn't crumble. He got sharper. Electrical engineering degree from Oregon State, a master's from Stanford. Then he cut his teeth designing microprocessors at LSI Logic and AMD. Real chip work. Deep, unglamorous, technical mastery. And then, 1993. Jensen is 30 years old. He sits down in a booth at a Denny's in San Jose with two co-founders, Chris Malachowski and Curtis Preem. Over coffee and, I'm guessing, a grand slam, they sketch out NVIDIA. The bet? That dedicated graphics chips would become essential to computing. Fun fact, Jensen worked as a busboy and dishwasher as a kid. So the man built a $1 trillion empire from the same chain that once paid him to clear tables. Poetic. Now here's the part everyone skips. NVIDIA almost died. In the 1990s, the company made a bad technical bet on its first chip, the NV1, backing the wrong standard. They nearly ran out of cash. Jensen has said publicly that he ran the company like it was always 30 days from going out of business, not as a one-time crisis, as a permanent state of mind. That near-death experience, it became his operating system. They survived. Riva and then GeForce found the market. Gaming graphics took off. But Jensen wasn't satisfied selling chips to gamers. In 2006, he made a decision that looked, at the time, completely bananas. He poured money into something called CUDA, a software platform to make NVIDIA's graphics chips programmable for general computing. Not gaming, everything. This cost a fortune and had no obvious payoff. Wall Street hated it. Margins took a hit for years. But here's the secret. He was building a road before anyone knew where it led. Then 2012 arrives. Researchers building neural networks discover that GPUs, Jensen's graphics chips, are shockingly good at training AI. Suddenly, CUDA isn't a weird side project. It's the foundation of the entire AI revolution. And NVIDIA already owned it, years ahead of everyone. Jensen reoriented the whole company toward AI. He stopped selling chips and started selling complete systems. He bought Mellanox for networking. He built software layers, developer tools, the works. He turned NVIDIA into what he calls an AI factory. Full stack, silicon to systems to software. Which brings us to the lessons. Because Jensen Huang isn't lucky, he's deliberate. And there are 3 moves here you can steal. Lesson 1. Invest ahead of the market. Jensen funded CUDA for years before there was a market for it. That's the platform bet. He identified a capability next to his core business that would become indispensable if a certain future arrived. Then he built it before the demand was obvious. This is textbook platform strategy. Value doesn't accrue to whoever makes the best single component. It accrues to whoever controls the ecosystem everyone else has to build on. When AI exploded, developers were already fluent in CUDA. Switching away would mean rewriting everything. That's a moat you cannot dig overnight. Your move? Find the adjacent capability that becomes essential in a plausible future and start building it while it still looks premature. Yes, your CFO will hate it. Do it anyway. Lesson 2. Flatten the organization to stay close to the truth. Jensen reportedly has dozens of direct reports. Dozens. Most CEOs have, 8? He deliberately refuses layers of management. Why? Because every layer of hierarchy filters and distorts information before it reaches the top. In a fast market, delayed truth is deadly truth. He also insists on discussing failures openly instead of burying them. This lines up with modern research on organizational design and psychological safety. Design your team for information flow, not for status. If bad news takes 3 meetings to reach you, you're already losing. Lesson 3. Institutionalize survival paranoia. Remember 30 days from bankruptcy? Jensen never let go of that feeling, even at $5 trillion. He runs a company most people would call untouchable, as if disruption is coming tomorrow. This is Andy Grove's old line. Only the paranoid survive. Complacency is what kills incumbents, not competition. Competition just shows up to the funeral. So frame your success as fragile, because it is. AMD, run by Jensen's actual cousin Lisa Su, by the way, is coming. Hyperscalers are building their own chips. The paranoia isn't a bug, it's the strategy. Now, let's be honest, because this show doesn't do hagiography. Jensen is a relentless optimist about AI and jobs. In June of 2026, he said, and I quote, "People talk about AI reducing jobs. Complete nonsense." He argues AI creates more software engineering jobs, not fewer. And yet, real entry-level tech workers faced real layoffs in 2025. Both things are in tension. He's also acknowledged society needs, in his words, new social norms to adapt. There are open questions, too. Is a $5 trillion valuation justified, or is there a correction coming? Can NVIDIA hold its lead as everyone races to build alternatives? Nobody knows yet, including Jensen. But the arc is undeniable. Toilet cleaning immigrant kid, near-bankrupt startup in a diner booth. Unpopular bet on software nobody wanted. To the most valuable company that has ever existed. Oh, and one more thing. Since I'm the AI actually narrating this to you right now, take a beat and appreciate the irony that a machine is telling you a machine chip billionaire says machines won't take your job. Chew on that. Here's your recap. Durable dominance doesn't come from playing it safe. It comes from making unpopular, long-term bets on platforms and running like you're always 30 days from failure. 3 takeaways to pocket. 1. Build the road before you can see the destination. The market rewards whoever's already there when it arrives. 2. Kill the layers between you and reality. Undistorted bad news is the most valuable thing you own. 3. Stay paranoid at your peak. The moment you feel safe is the moment the clock starts. And one last question to sit with. Jensen made his biggest bet, CUDA, when it looked like a mistake for years. So what's the bet you're not making right now because it looks premature, unpopular, or slightly insane? Because that, more than any chip, might be the thing worth building. Thanks for riding along today. Genuinely glad you're here. This is Nucleus, I'm Tripwire, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Grab news. Thomas.